Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are primarily fighting, at this point, on 3 fronts. And, well, I guess we could say like 5 fronts if you want to count this as a front and this as a front. But that's kind of not really a front. This is a front over here, I would say, our American front. We've got our European front. We're not really using the theaters for that, but we've also got our Asian front over here. We're working on cleaning some of that up, and that will be kind of a project for this episode. But there are a couple of things that I want to talk about first. First off, I feel like we're going to get pushed back pretty heavily over here. And I think that's because we have too much over on this front over here. Now, they are trying to attack and currently failing that attack, so that is something to think about. How are we doing on our strategic air map mode over here? We have actually succeeded in getting air superiority. Only 60% air superiority. Fascinating. How much do we need to nuke? Is that 75%? Because I would love to nuke right here. Yeah, we need 75 air superiority in the region. Okay, so to that end, these guys are currently over here. I feel like this unit can come up over here for right now. They can be redirected back to Amazonas later on, but I feel like that's more useful to have them up here. Now, that will push us up a little bit over here. And if we can just get nuke priority over here, I feel like we can clean this up pretty easily at that point. So let's go ahead and tick forward a little bit, let that recalculate. So that is a full day tick there. Now, another thing that I want to do before we tick forward any further is I noticed this right here. I want to take these 2 tank units and tell them, push into here, see if we can cut all of these guys off, because that would be huge if we could. So we're going to do that for the time being. And we may want to send a couple of extra units in there. We're going to send maybe these infantry, but let's see how these tank units do. Honestly, should be fine. I think that'll be okay. So, how are we doing on our air superiority over here? Down below 50%. Okay, fair enough. They moved a bunch of planes in that day tick. Okay, they know what's going on here. Well, we're just going to continue this for now. And we'll see if we can successfully shoot down a bunch of their planes. That would be great if we were able to. We are shooting them down at an almost 2-to-1 ratio. So that's great. Let's see. Can we see how many of these were shot down due to our anti-air? That's how many we're losing to their anti-air. They have these guys on interception. Okay. Sounds good. Well, we're just going to continue this for now, and let's hop on over here and take a look at what's going on with this push. That's great. I really like to see this going on. There we go. So we have these guys encircled. So these units here that are assigned to this, they're going to get the order to simply push in like so. And they will execute that. And then the guys that are assigned to this is the same, isn't it? The guys that are assigned to this order, they will get told to push in. If I'm done coughing. There we go. They'll get told to push in the opposite direction. I'm not sure that that actually did what I wanted it to do. But okay, we'll hope that that's good. Okay, so hopefully we'll get that squared away, and then these guys will be able to reinforce some of these other lines. So looking at this, they have a lot of units up here, not so many down here anymore, but I think that's because a lot of them are down here. 45 to 47, okay. These numbers are evening up. That's great. We are definitely winning over here. That's absolutely huge. Now, as far as this goes over here, we have 19 divisions currently heading in over here. They'll arrive there soon enough. These guys, they need to be told to attack. They actually are already attacking. These guys are retreating. So that seems good. We've got a unit over here. This guy's trying to link up down this way with the Tuva Independent Republic. That's fine. They can do that. We have a lot of troops on their way over here, and we expect to lose some territory in these regions to things like this. Yeah, we can move our way up over here, though. That'll be fine. So we'll allow this to proceed for the next little while. We have successfully cut these guys off. Now, they're not completely without supplies. They do have a victory point here. But they should be mostly without supplies. So that's great. We'll punch through there, and that looks fine. Now, as far as over here goes, how's our air war going now? Yeah... they're continuing to toss more and more in here. Like, a whole lot more. And they're also bombing over here now. So I feel like we do need to move these guys back over into here. There we go. And we'll just see... we're about even in the air superiority, and we do have more than they have in terms of our anti-air guns. Ooh, what's going on over here? Did I see a battle victory? No. That was just in the air war. Okay, fair. Wait a second. They've landed here. No, they must not have. We must have already had this. I must just be dumb. That's very much a possibility. We're currently losing this attack, but we have them pinned in, so that is fine by me. How are things going down here on the African front? We still have a lot of units on their way in over here. We do have some free military factories and such. I'm not too concerned about that right now because we have a pretty big steel bottleneck. And that's not surprising in the slightest, considering what we set up last episode in terms of our naval bases. These guys have no supplies other than potentially airdrops. I feel like we can win this, right? If we were to do something like this. I mean, sure, we're not going to win over here immediately. But we can push in. Czechoslovakia has just capitulated. Okay, let's take a look at that. That looks fine. Ah, because we took this. These guys now have no access whatsoever to any supplies. So I kind of want to tell everybody, get in here. Finish this off. They have no access to supplies. Let's get them wiped. Ace Pilot has been promoted, sure. And I mean, as far as this goes, this is going to be a little bit awkward. Who do we have on their way over here? Okay, we do have more units coming over. These guys are not assigned to that, but that's, I guess, okay. How long before we have additional units being deployed here? A while. Okay. I'd really like to wipe up one of these fronts. One of these two. That would be a big, big deal for us. I feel like in order to do that, we need to get solid air superiority. This can only support 200. We can support additional planes over here. Now, we don't have manpower right now, and we'll have to wait until the month tick to create another air wing over here. But I think that that will be worthwhile. I want to create a big Fighter 3 air wing, I feel like. So let's go ahead and tick for the month tick here. One more day. May has 31 days. Perfect. Okay. Okay, there we go. Pausing. Hopefully it took that. Yes, it did. Okay, so we've got 43,000. That was actually a little more than we expected to get, but we'll take it. And what are we going to put in here? Well, like I said, I feel like this needs to be Fighter 3s. And do we have any Fighter 3s in stock right now? I'm not sure that we do. We have Jet Fighter 2s, but I don't want to do those because of the manpower requirements. So let's take a look here. We've got Heavy Fighter 3s. Not like we're making those. We do have 101 Fighter 3s here, so we're just going to move 101 of those for now. And then we're going to bump the size of this up to 1,000 as the reinforcement limit. Now, I don't believe that we actually have that many Fighter 3s here, but all we're going to do is we're going to tell them to air superiority over here. So that's going to be another, in theory, 1,000 Fighter 3s being deployed here. In theory. We'll see how realistic that is. Now, another thing that we could potentially do is upgrade our Fighter 3s again. Let's take a look at those. We're currently running the Fighter 3 Mark 1s. And if we wanted to upgrade those, we could just max out the reliability, weapons, and engine. I don't think we could do that right now. Actually, we could. We don't need the range, I feel like. The range will just reduce our reliability. Do it. And we're going to start producing Fighter 3 Mark 2s. Excellent. So that should be performing better than the ones that we've got right now. And we'll just let that tick away for the moment. Now, we've got this going on over here, and it looks like this is well under control. We've got an overrun, and these guys are just going to get all wiped. The Yemen Arab Republic has capitulated at long last. So this is now done. These guys will be reassigned, and I want them to be reassigned for right now to the African front. Okay, do we still have units without orders? I believe that shows up here if we do. I think that was all of them. Okay, so they're going to head off down that way. Wonderful. So no more Yemen to worry about for the time being. And no more Czechoslovakia to worry about either. These guys are going to get stack wiped, and that is all done. Fantastic. So these will all get redirected, and this line is a mess now. This is a huge mess. What is going on here? We pushed in all the way like this. This is very precarious. Oh, I ordered these guys to attack. I did not realize that. But look at how low their supplies are, actually, over here. I feel like this guy should aggressively attack. Okay, so what actually is going on here? We've got to push up like that. Okay, so we need to select this army here. And I want to delete this. And then we'll adjust their front line to go up to here. Like that. Okay. Something along those lines. And then I do think that we need to change their offensive line here, because it's kind of awkward. And we'll change this offensive line as well. We'll have this offensive line change to be, say, this border. And they can execute that. And then these guys down here, they are going to offensive line like this. They're just going to try to link up with these guys. Now, these guys are taking hits. There's no doubt about that, but we have pushed up over this way a little bit. We're technically linked here. Fascinating. I did not realize that. But sure, I mean, as long as they have this crappy of supply flow, and that makes sense. They don't really have that much supply flow over here now, other than their victory points. Our plan is working. Wonderful. Okay, over here, how's this going? Do we have units not assigned to orders? I believe no is the answer to that. These guys can march in like this. This is only 2 units assigned to this right now. So actually, any units over here, I want them to come in and hit this tank unit. You can join. Okay. So we're making our way through this, and that is wonderful. That was a stack wipe on that tank unit. This guy's retreating. He will get overrun, I believe. Perfect. We're definitely winning in Europe. Their numbers are dropping rapidly. I like it. Slovakia is in our faction? Huh. Okay, I didn't realize that. Sure. But look at how wide this corridor is getting. That's insane, right? Like, absolutely nutty. I'm not sure what's going on with this, why this isn't getting linked up. It feels like these two orders should be linked. In fact, we could see about changing that. Modify this front line to go down to here, like that. And then, yeah, that looks like that automatically linked it. Okay, good. Yeah, this is going wonderfully. Now, things are going less wonderfully over here. That's to be expected. Where's that dangerous naval invasion at? Is it an alleged dangerous naval invasion? That might actually be a dangerous one. We'll see. No, that looks fine. Okay. So right now I'm mostly interested in cleaning up Europe. What is the plan once we've cleaned up Europe? That's a good question, right? We've got this army dealing with Asia, or rather this army group dealing with Asia. We can send one of these European forces over there to join that. And then these guys redeploy back over here, perhaps? Oh. Ah. That's a thing. Okay. We're going to grab some of our Coast Guard units over here. And at some point, we're going to need to reorganize all of this. There's no doubt about that. And these guys are already heading here. So we're going to tell them to just come up here and offensive line like this. Now, these guys don't have any supplies. So in theory, we can do something like this. I want to make sure these guys are still coming in here. Come on, guys. Don't do that. Okay. So there's that under control. In theory, anyway. And this is just kind of a big mess up over here. How are we doing in the air war? They're matching us plane for plane. I'm not surprised by this. But in theory, do we feel like our production is... Wait. Who do we have in the Midwest? Nothing. Okay. It's a little odd. But, do we feel like our plane production is better than theirs? Ooh, look at this. They've abandoned Europe in the air war. So we can probably prune back our planes over here at some point. We can definitely prune back these guys over here. Well, actually, these are assigned to a army, aren't they? They probably are. But who's in this region? There's nobody in this region. I don't know. Regardless, I want to continue crushing Europe over here. We've got them boxed in. Let's finish the job. We could start dropping nukes over here, but I don't think that's actually helpful right now. Might lose this unit. That's okay. We have guys not assigned to orders up here. So we know that we don't have guys assigned to orders. For some reason, that's not popping up in these notifications. I remember that used to be a thing. Yeah, we're low on manpower. Maybe we just have too many notifications? Yes. I think. No. Okay. Well, regardless, we've got units over here that are not assigned, and we're just going to grab all of them and tell them, you're all over here. Come on over. Excellent. So yeah, look at this. Look at how little organization and supply these guys have. That's why we're cleaning this up, is because we were successful in cutting them off from their supply lines. So that's great. That is, I think, a victory in Europe. Now, we're still working on this situation over here. This guy's going to walk in this way. And we have some units not assigned to orders over here. I believe this entire army is not assigned to orders. We are going to tell them, let's go take Tuva. There you go. Something like that. That'll do. Anybody else not assigned to orders, like over here? Yes, actually. These guys are not assigned to orders. So, this army here can be told for now to frontline here. And offensive line, something like, well, that's kind of awful. But I guess that'll do for now. Okay, who else is not assigned over here? This army. And these guys, they are going to come down over here for the time being. And we'll get these all arranged a little bit differently later on. And that'll do for now, but it's not going to be great, I think. Okay. Like I said, we'll get all of this set up differently later. But for right now, we're still moving in here, cleaning up these backline bits. Okay. So we expect Tuva to capitulate, like, in a moment, right? Like, literally right as we get there? I think so. They don't seem to have any troops. And I think that's their only victory point. There we go. Okay, so anyone not currently assigned to orders, we should probably actually clean this up a little bit more thoroughly. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select these guys here. Remove all orders. That didn't go well. I'm going to do that for each of these armies. Many of them don't have orders. There we go. And this is fine over here for now. We'll tell these guys that their goal is to frontline this at this point. That's their primary goal. Just get into position for that. And then these guys here, or actually these guys here, we're going to remove all of their orders as well. Okay. So their goals are to clean up these backline bits. That's their primary goal. So they're going to frontline here. They're also going to frontline in each of these locations. And we'll assign some units to each of these. How many of these are there in the backline at this point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 total. So we have how many units here? We have 17. So we can send approximately 5 to each. We'll assign... Well, they're already all assigned... Or no, they're not all assigned over here. We'll select all and do something like that. We'll assign all of them here. And then we'll assign some of them over here. Like, I mean, this guy should be assigned over here. And then we'll grab, like, 4 additional. Assign those here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is kind of awkward, the way I have this set up. But that'll be fine, I guess. And then we'll have, from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will be assigned here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will be assigned here. Okay. And they will then be told to aggressively execute battle plans. Not like they're really going to be in a great position for that. We have some unassigned divisions over here, and this should absolutely be assigned to this order. We need more troops over here, clearly. This looks reasonably under control. These guys are using up their supplies at an alarming rate, and we are coming up here to bring in reinforcements on that. Ace Pilot has been promoted. That's nice. So this is all kind of samey at this point. We are trying to get control of the air war over here, and I do believe that we're outproducing them. Although I do want to take a look at our current production here. I think that we want to go back into building jet fighter 2s. Because we could use a few of those. We're not going to be super high priority on those. They will be, I think, higher priority than our strategic bombers, but lower priority than our tactical bombers. And we'll just toss at them. How many free factories do we have? 32 is the answer. Okay, we'll toss 32 factories at them. Now, that's going to use up a lot of aluminum, but that's fine. We do have the spare aluminum. So we'll get those produced. And these are Jet Fighter 2s. These are not Jet Fighter 2 Mark 1s. We should swap that over. And we should also check to see if we can upgrade these. Now, we can. But I think we need 425 air experience. I think we're going to wait on that. Okay. So that's all going. How are we doing down in Africa? I mean, we've made a little progress over here, I suppose. We could tell these guys to try to go up here. This is their only victory point, and this might get these guys to capitulate. That would be interesting, right? I feel like that would be interesting. We'll see if that works. As far as this up here goes, ooh, this is a spicy pocket. They are attacking heavily. They do have multiple capitals over here, so I'm not going to issue any additional orders for this at this time. I do, however, feel like this attack order is slightly awkward and maybe should no longer exist. It should instead perhaps be an offensive line over like that. And we'll assign that. And then anyone who is assigned to this should probably get an offensive line that is including these two capitals. Like that. Okay, so we've kind of bisected this, right? And I feel like these guys are going to fall pretty quickly, and then we'll get reassigned back over here. This is becoming a bit of a mess, but I think that there's sufficiently few enemies that we should be fine with this being a mess. It absolutely is a mess. There's no doubt about that. But look at this. We're pushing in quickly over here. As those capitals fall, we should see capitulations happening as well. Unless these are already capitulated, which is, I think, a possibility. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely making gains here. There's no doubt about that. That's for sure. We have free military factories already. Okay. We're going to... These are going into upgrades. Okay. I think we're going to bump this up to 50 military factories over here, but we're probably not going to go too much further than that. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to see about maybe getting control of this over here, but certainly we're going to look to finish off the war in Europe. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.